Then they fornicated all night, tearing the room asunder in the throes of cross-species ecstasy. Surely they both nearly perished as the plasma shots rang out, but the sense of danger merely accelerated the fires of their passion. Truly a sight to behold. Ha 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 ha!
Chocknock tells as he pours more brew into his guest's mug. Dr. Vin stares blankly ahead, unable to disregard the mental image. And you just watched?
When I wasn't participating, yes. Hard not to when sharing a punk. Ha!
The captain affirms. I was just curious about your military academy days, Vin mutters, feeling a slight bit faint.
Ha! Indeed. My roommates were true characters they were. Learned a thing or two from them, I did. Ha ha ha!
The captain bellows, slapping his grasper into the table. By the stars! Is everyone on this ship a deviant? I do hope I didn't overlook any fine print in that contract, Dr. Vin replies, only half joking. He lifts the gifted brew up to his lips and takes a hefty swig to clear his throat. Chocknock blinks slowly in sudden amused curiosity.
What could you ever mean by that, Doctor? I am a glutton for gossip, I must say,
he says, before taking a quick peek at the mess hall doors. Realizing he may have spoken too much on the matter, Vin waves away at the curious Fromple. Oh, it's nothing, not even my business to disclose, he dismisses.
Miss Chuck asked you about Miss Thatch, I'm venturing. Ha ha! Fear not, she approached me with the same quandary not too long ago,
Chocknock assures. Dr. Vin shifts in his seat, pondering on how to proceed with this conversation. And what did you advise the poor girl? He asks.
To take her shot. Life's too short to be concerned with missing out on being happy, especially in her case.
The Noxie narrows his beady little eyes at the captain, concerned. Her life could very well be cut shorter if they, Never mind. I doubt Miss Thatch would reciprocate for that very reason. I obviously won't go into detail about our session, but I believe it's safe to say she has not the highest opinions of herself or what she is. Risking any harm to that Callie is out of the question. Unless...
Unless?
Chocknock prods. Terrans can be spontaneous with such things. I hate making generalizations, but I have yet to fully understand Miss Thatch. If she is that sort, then I can't help but worry. The captain's light red skin darkens to a rich maroon.
You haven't been here long, Doctor, so grant me a moment to vouch. That Terran has shown nothing but the utmost care and respect towards Chuck. All while still being honest with her words, she acts as though the stars themselves are watching when around her. Simone is a woman of integrity, and is far more likely to swallow a star whole rather than bring any intended harm to Chuck, Chocknock says, now completely ignoring his brew. That's all well and good, but what about the unintended? Vin points out. Then it's so. If you spend too much time dwelling on the worst outcome, you will never venture for the best. There's risk to everything in our lives, little is gained through avoiding all of them. I say, choose your risks, then live with them.
Some risks are not worth taking.
And some are.
Thankfully, avoiding anyone in the hasty U-trip to the other hall, Simone carries the giddy Chuck into the Callie's room. Are you sure about this? The Terran asks, cautiously. More sure than anything, Chuck assures, brushing her upper claws through the Terran's fur. Feeling her layers get unexpectedly weak from nerves, Simone turns around and sits at the foot of the bed, the Callie still firmly clasped to her lap. Chuck leans in to give a reassuring kiss, but something odd catches her undivided attention. The hands holding her are trembling terribly. In fact, upon further inspection, the Terran's jaw is ever so slightly shaken as well. Even her breathing is vibrating in a concerning manner. The creature that can crush Chuck at this moment without difficulty, one of the most formidable apex species in the universe, who is in no perceivable danger, is panicking in absolute fear, as though she is the truly vulnerable being in this room. Feeling the guilt of her own rotten selfishness, Chuck redirects her kiss into blunting her forehead against the Terran's, usually a gesture of aggression to the Callie, but she knows quite the opposite can be true for Terrans. But this isn't just about me. I want you. So very much. However, I won't push you into something you're not ready for. You can tell me no. I promise I'll respect it, she chirps softly, as she rubs the Terran's bruised and scarred back. I'm sorry, I really don't want to hurt you. I don't even know where or how to start. I feel like I'm 17 again, like it's the first fucking time, Simone admits shakily. Oh, is this your first time with a non-Terran? At this, Simone releases an emotional burst of a snicker, managing to raise one of her write-offs in an expecting expression. Chuck then herself chirps a laugh. Right. Stupid question, the Callie acknowledges. I've never done this with someone I could snap in half so easily, though, and considering I'm me, usually it's expected of me to kick things off, and my usual guess I'll wing it doesn't work here, Simone confesses. The built-up tension now lessens significantly. Chuck returns to brushing for the Terran's fur. Then how about we take this slow, and you take my lead this time? This is my first experience, I must admit, so your input is very much requested, she poses, already pressing the Terran's bare chest to signal her to move back further onto the bed. Crawling backwards as wished, Simone's heart rate skyrockets, as Chuck suggestively crawls above her at the same pace. Red eyes gleaming bright, the Callie maintains a fixated gaze like an owl on the hunt. When Simone's head finds the princess-scented pillow, Chuck rests herself back onto the Terran sitting upright. If you start feeling any pain, Simone whispers, genuinely flustered from the woman. I will tell you, I promise, Chuck swears, before tapping at her lens, causing the lights in the room to dim into complete pitch darkness. Even Chuck's eyes close, sealing even that small visual indication. Immediately uncomfortable, Simone grips the sides of the bed. Chuck, wait. I need to see, okay? I don't want to hit you with an elbow or some shit. I need to see you, please, she stammers. Oh, you will, Chuck soothes in a breathy voice. A short moment passes before Simone begins to see them. Small specks appear from the dark like emerging stars. Gradually their brightness grows until a constellation of a loose Callie silhouette is seen. Already in awe of the show, she then notices the white fur atop Chuck's head, shoulders and back begin to appear as well. The bioluminescence increases to the point of lighting up the individuals on the bed within Terran's sight. The Callie's eyes open narrowly. So, what do you think? She asks sheepishly. I didn't know Callie could do this, is all Simone can say in response. Just when we're ready to, produce children. It, kickstarts things, Chuck explains, a little embarrassed. Kinda hard to achieve in the circumstances we were in on Hoth 2, if that's what you were thinking, she adds in jest. Simone slowly moves her, now only slightly shaking hands to the Callie's thighs, gently holding them. No, I have something very different on my mind, she says, with a slow wink.
Oh, who's trying to listen to the alien sex scene on YouTube? This is Napoleon, professional bodybuilder and Net Narrator's personal trainer. Oh, he pays me with Patreon videos to rub his big scary muscles. You can also watch sexy narrations too, and naughty Greentext by paying £5 a month at the Space Commando tier on Patreon. Oh.
The Callie rests upon her mate, both panting and coming down from their lustful highs. She can feel the great pounding of the Terran's single heart reverberate into her own body. Such a powerful thing, even as it eventually calms down to a steady beat. When she's confident that her voice is reliable, Chuck scoots up slightly to fawn over Simone's head. She brushes at the damp fur while locking with the Terran's misty eyes. Simone? Chuck utters softly. Yeah? Chiches kaselanudolfas. Trithas chichit. Trona mantitas. The Callie whispers in her people's language, before kissing the Terran in intimate passion. Confused, Simone participates in return. When her delayed lenses translator kicks in, she can't help but to cry and embrace this incredible woman. I love you, more than the moon and stars. With you, everything's okay and will always be. A few hours pass, and now the two lay face to face in the bed. Lights are back on in a dim blue hue, as the Callie's glow has faded away. I just mated with a Terran, Chuck chuckles, the realization finally hitting her like a freight shuttle. No kidding. Damn, nice. But I just got pounded by a princess with hips for days, so I think I got you beat, Simone counters with a suggestive wink. Oh, but this Terran has a heart bigger than her muscles, which is sane. A lot, the Callie points out, as she grazes Simone's torso with her lower limbs. By the stars, you're such a fucking horn dog, Simone giggles, as she massages her hand on the Callie's lower back. I don't know what that means, but from the tone of your voice, perhaps, Chuck chirps, as she nuzzles her forehead to the Terran's. Simone's smile grows, then completely fades. I know we should be past me asking, but Are you sure about this? With me of all people? I'm so fucked up on the inside, Chuck. Doc's gonna help me, but I don't think I'll ever be right again. There's some things that can't be fixed, including so many fucking parts of me. If I don't hurt you physically, there's still a good chance I'll hurt you in other ways, she whispers. Chuck places an upper grasper on the side of Simone's face, waiting for the Terran to finish. I don't even see you as broken. Hurting, absolutely, but you're not broken. I don't intend to fix you or ignore the darker spots within you. I wish to help and be there for you when you need it. I know you'll do the same for me, so yes, I'm sure, she responds without an ounce of judgment. Releasing a gallon of air from her chest, Simone looks down and nods. All right, you were amazing, by the way, the Terran says, taking the previous conversation back. Oh, so are you. Though I do have some ideas we can try in the future. We may be able to make it smoother and safer. I need to do some shopping first, however, Chuck replies with a bounce. Why do I have the feeling you have other ideas in mind too? Simone teases with a raised eye tuft. Chuck hides her eyes with her upper limbs in embarrassment. Oh, well, of course there's, oh my. I saw, the forum recommended a few, maybe? She stammers as she curls up into a fetal position. Fucking horn dog, I swear, Simone chuckles, sitting up. Nakani peeks and slightly unravels. Going somewhere? She asks. Yeah, I need to shower, get dressed and eat something, Simone explains, standing up. May I join you? Chuck requests, as she sits up and eyes flash. Was just about to ask you if you wanted to come along. I doubt you want to reek of Terran sweat, Simone points out. It's not that unpleasant. But yes, I'll come, Chuck chirps before standing at attention. Seven stares at the stock of available ingredients, making an internal list of what they can use without breaking their convictions. The list isn't long, however pleasantly longer than expected after Simone's point of lab-grown meats and produce, including ingredients for their special project. The doors to the mess hall open, granting two figures in. From the kitchen, Seven hovers out at attention, pleased to see the guest of honor. Simone, Jack, I am glad to have you. May I prepare you anything in particular? They ask. The Terran slumps down into a seat, absolutely content. Sure, you know what? Surprise me, she responds with a nod. Oh, same, Chuck cheerfully adds, as she plants herself next to the Terran. I have just the thing, Seven announces, as they toil back into the kitchen. After merely 30 standard minutes, the bot returns with an elaborate silver cloche. They set it down before their crew members and stand by proudly. I present to you a dish of incredible difficulty and prowess. Many claim it to be simple, but in my research I've discovered that even the prolific historical Terran chef, Ramsay, could not pull it off. Not only did I have to keep the taste acceptable, but I only restricted myself to Cali-safe ingredients. Behold, Seven announces, and he lifts the cloche to reveal a stack of rectangular food items. Terran Cali grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, fuck yeah. Simone cheers as she immediately snatches one. The cheese is a lab-smoked Gouda and cheddar blend, complemented with a little rich cashew cream. The bread is Perena-based and freshly baked before sliced. I hope you enjoy, but constructive if criticism is welcomed, Seven explains, despite Simone already being on her third sandwich. No complaints here, she says, with her mouth half full. Chuck then picks up a piece for herself. Thank you so much for being considerate of me. I very much appreciate it, she thanks, before taking a bite. If I can achieve ingredient homogeneity in my cuisine for my crew members, I shall do so, unless request otherwise, Seven replied. Chuck bounces at the second bite. Terrans have such amazing food. Thank you again, Seven, this is wonderful. I'm glad to hear you two enjoy it. No criticism at all, Seven asks. Simone eyes the bot and gives it a smirk. Well, it tastes great, but there's an Asian test to see if this is a true success, she alludes, picking up a fresh, warm rectangle. Truly? Seven inquires. Yes, the cheese stretch test. Observe, the Terran says, as she rips the rectangle in half, but is careful to keep the two halves together. She rubs the halves against one another before slowly pulling apart. A webbing wall of melted goodness falls between her hands. Well, would you look at that? The Terran mumbles neutrally. What do those O's results mean? Seven asks rather intensely. Simone slowly turns her head to face the bot, as the cheese ball collapses onto the table. This is perfection, she answers with a grin. Seven does not respond right away. Instead, they blink their eyes and rotate slightly. This sense of pride is overwhelming. I must retire to the kitchen. Thank you for the review. 7 dismisses, before taking their leave. Chuck can only stare at the Terran after this encounter. What? Simone chuckles, noticing the Callie. Just enjoying you being you, she responds. They talked to me endlessly about making this perfect for you while you were unconscious. What you just did meant a lot. Simone's face flushes, and she shrugs her shoulders. Just being honest, she brushes off before an idea sparks in her head. How about we take the rest of these and watch old-ass cartoons in my room? You wanted to watch some, right? She offers. Chuck's eyes flash as she leans her head into Simone's shoulder. That sounds lovely. Brom steps over the last deceased mercenary guarding the final door, plasma rifle still sizzling. Your Majesty, the area around the compound is clear, one of his soldiers informs through the comm. Excellent. Regroup and meet me in the back of the installation. I believe we've found it, he responds, before opening the biohazard containment marked door ahead of him. A stairway presents itself, leading far down into the ground of this star-forsaken planet. He then holds back his temptations, and awaits for his forces to convene on his position. He must not rush this, no matter how eager he may be. If the intel he received proved true, then this may very well be the weapon that will end his father's blood-soaked unlawful reign. May the stars guide me, he chirps, under his breath.
Oh, you better like the video and subscribe to Net Narrator on YouTube. You don't want to mess with him and his big scary muscles. He won Muscly Man of the Year 2021. Fucking hell! Guys, help me out here. I'm running out of voices to do.